It's Tristan here from PropertyToolkit. Today, in the fourth episode of my direct to vendor series, I'm just going to run through all about choosing your strategy and targeting properties to match. Because direct to vendor marketing is all about being laser targeted. You need to be targeting people and properties you want to maximize your results for the least amount of time putting in. So, when I talk about choosing a strategy, this could be whether or not you're doing something like rent-to-rents, whether you're trying to get lease options on HMOs, or whether you're trying to do serviced accommodation, which at the moment is a little bit au fait, just because we're in the middle of COVID-19 and not able to leave the house. So whether it's doing something like serviced accommodation, whether or not you're looking for properties to flip and you're looking for land or properties to purchase, do up and sell, whether you might be looking for just a buy-to-let properties to build out your portfolio, or you might be looking for empties or stuff where it's got a bit of a problem going on, or you're potentially looking for land and deals and stuff to package. So I've just covered quite a lot of different strategies and stuff, and I haven't explained everything there. But the reason I'm saying you need to know what strategy you're doing or what you're targeting is so that when you send out letters, when you're focusing on properties, you can get just the deals that you want coming to you. So if you go onto Rightmove or Zoopla or wherever you're looking for properties, or however you're walking past a property and you notice it's empty, you want to just be targeting the ones you want. Because if you're targeting everything and you're scattergun, or you're doing like a shotgun, you're just spraying and splaying, putting everything to the wall, you're going to end up spending a lot of time and a lot of different types of opportunities without getting the results that you want. So I'm going to just demonstrate down on one line of this, so then and the principles all travel over for anything else. So what we'll do here is say we're looking just to find a rent-to-rent deal, okay? So the reason we're looking at rent-to-rent is, in this case, we're looking for rent-to-rents, and they work for both HMOs and they look for service accommodation. We're looking for a rent-to-rent property. It's an HMO, and I think in current climate, near a hospital, because then we're never going to have any problem with tenants, touch wood. So what we would do is we then set our search settings, or you're speaking with everyone in that area to make sure you pick up just those properties around it. So around your hospital, you set it in a quarter of a mile, half a mile, so it's easy walking distance to get in. You then, because we're looking for a rent-to-rent or potentially a lease option, we're just looking for everything on the lettings data. So we're looking for everything that's going through there. But what would be fantastic is if we can find properties that are listed with agents twice. Because at that point, we know the vendor or the landlord is actually a bit more motivated than normal. Because if they were, just motivated or they're just okay, then they'd have one listing with one agent, and then the one agent is probably going to find someone down the line. But if we can find it somewhere where it's listed with two agents, or we can find something that's been on the market too long, or something where it's got like a keyword in it that you want, then that would be fantastic. So we're looking through these, and what you can do to try and make sure that you find properties that are duplicates is, if you go on, set your search criteria, I don't know, if you're looking for, say, to rent to 4 people, you might look for a 3-bedroom house, which you can convert the living room into a bedroom, and the dining room would then be their living space. So then you look for 3-bedroom house, and what you'll do is you'll click on your property on your drop downs, and you'll select sort by price. Usually I do it I usually do it from lowest to highest, but what I also do is I set a minimum rent on it, and the reason I do that is just to cut out any of the single bedrooms or the flats or anything else like that where people are just trying to let them room by room. So then you're then going through that list, and then you're then going to try and see where you've got to that are priced the same number of bedrooms with 2 agents. Because if you've got that, you're going to have a motivated vendor who, if you pick up the phone and have a chat with the estate agent, you might try and say, hey, I noticed you've got this property on for rent at the moment. It's actually on with a couple of agents. Can you give me a little bit more information? Looks like you've done a bit more research on it, and you might be able to help them out. And then you can go down all your rent-to-rent questions to target them. Or you might actually just turn around and say, you can turn around and try and pitch a lease option, something like that. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's one option to be able to target rent-to-rent properties. But if you know your strategy and the way you're doing it each time, then you're going to just target those type of specific properties. And then again, if you were doing that, you can then, I'm going to explain later on the video series how you can find actual property addresses to put letters in the post to people. But when you've done that, that really helps you rent to rent. Let's just quickly go on to say flipping. If you're looking to buy a property to flip, then you might use the keyword searches in there, where, as I explained before, you can put like a keyword that's like no chain, there's like modernization, or you put all various, or cash buyers only, whatever. You can find all the stuff that there's reasons and there's motivation there, and just filter through for, say, your 2-bedroom flat, your 4-bedroom house, and it might be a 4-bedroom house because you can split it into two-bedroom flats, whatever. But if you've got a focus when you're looking through, you will find more deals that are relevant. And once you've got those relevant, I'm just making like a wedge, it's my funnel. So at the top you've got everything, and you're sifting it down, and you're like, okay, well that one's clearly got more keywords in it, or that's got more whatever else, all the stuff that matches your direct-to-vendor mentality, what you want. And I realise I mentioned estate agents, whatever else, which isn't direct-to-vendor, but you can then find those addresses, target those people, and as I get later in the series, I'll say how you can reach out and contact them. So it's a great way of just funneling down through to get those people for your deals. And then if you can then build that rapport and get in touch, you're going to be able to do far better. So there's Tristan from Property Toolkit. There's more to be going on in this direct-to-vendor series. So keep watching, keep going to the end, and then hopefully I'll be able to help you automate your whole process. So whether you're deal sourcing, whether you're finding opportunities for yourself or selling them on, we can make this an absolute breeze.